Okay, welcome back to Unit 1. This is part 2, and today we're going to be learning about data types, naming variables, constants, and inputting. I know it's a lot, and we're going to try to cover it in 15 minutes. As you see, I already have a program created. It's labeled input, and then I put author, date, and what's this program about. And this is your standard setup for all programs, okay? And I already removed some of the comments from before and constructors, and I set it up like this, and we're ready to go. Just like all memory or all programs, or most programs, we have data types. And for those that came from Visual Basic, we used to use the dim statement, and we used to give it a name as integer. For those who had Java, well, it's no change, but there are 8 of them. And the main one you'll be working with is int. That's one of them. And you just go ahead and pick a variable name. And it's always good to be descriptive. Stay away from single letters. I know some programming language might allow you to use single letters. Java will allow you to use single letters, but it's actually non-professional. It should be descriptive of what it does. So let's just say I'm going to sum something. Okay. And what I did was just declared a memory location. You can think of this memory location as a box. And it can only hold one item, and that item has to be an integer because I declared it as type integer. Okay, this is what we call decoration up here. And we just declared sum as an integer. Okay, right now we need to give sum a value, so we could also declare and initialize sum, and maybe I want to start out at 0. So here, not only did I declare sum, I also initialized it to 0. I gave it a starting point. And it's always good to initialize your variables. Give it a starting point, even if it's 0. Okay. I could declare multiple ints on one line. Okay. And maybe I have one called total. And maybe I have another one called age. Okay. If you're using 2 words, it's always good to capitalize the second. If you notice about my naming of variables, notice it's all lowercase. Okay, it should all be lowercase. Remember, a class, we always identify a class because the first letter is capitalized. So like in input, it's a class, it is capitalized I. So always name your classes as the first letter being capitalized. Variables, all lowercase. If you're talking about 2 words, we use total sum, and total is lowercase. We capitalize this first letter of the second word. Other languages like C, C++, they use underscore. And Java allows you to use underscore as well. But just Java style is for 2 words. Just join them together and you make the first letter of the second word capitalize. Okay, so here we created 4, and it must end in a semicolon. Remember, all statements inside of main must end in a semicolon, except for ifs and loops, and we'll discuss about that later. Okay, now there are 8 primitive data types. Another primitive data types, let's just start at the very beginning. We have integer. Okay, the smallest one is byte. Don't worry about it. But byte is just a single byte, and it basically goes a range from like a -128 to 127. Don't quote me on the numbers. I know it's somewhere in that area. The reason we have so many 8 primitive data types is basically because back in the old days we were struggling to save memory. Not like today. Today we have tons of memory. Back in the old days we only had very little memory, so we had to create memory types. And since this only goes up to 127, this would be a good one to represent age, maybe, because no one lives past 127. Very few. So if you're going to create a memory location to hold someone's age, you would use a byte, and that would save you a couple bytes of memory. Whereas integer, int, uses 4 bytes, okay, whereas byte only uses 1 byte. So you're actually saving 3 bytes of memory by using byte over integer. For the AP test, they only care about knowing integer. There's byte. Another one is called short. Oops, and I did that wrong. It has to be lowercase. Okay, notice it's blue. Okay, and again, short is another integer. Okay, all three holds integers only. I cannot put a decimal inside of byte, short, or integer. And there are 4 types of integers, and the other one is long. Okay, and okay, but the one we want to concentrate on most is when you're working with integers, use int. Don't worry about the other 3, just know they exist. Byte is the smallest, short, and then int, it goes in order, and long is the biggest. If you have a really large number, an integer, then go ahead and use long, but AP only sticks with integers, ints. So this is the only one you need to know. To carry on with decimal numbers, you go, what happens if I have a decimal number? Well, we use float. Okay, and if we want to use a bigger number, we use double. Okay, and the same thing, float is a little bit smaller, uses less memory than double. Double holds a really large number compared to float. Don't worry, don't use float. Again, we don't want to be using float, we want to stick with double. Okay, because this is AP, and this one here is AP. So when working with integers, we use int, and when we're working with decimal numbers, we work with doubles. So right now we have 6. There's 2 more left. We have Boolean, and that is on part of the AP, and it usually either holds true or it holds false. That's the only 2 values it can hold. Okay, so this is just a memory location that can only hold true or false. I can't put any values in here or anything like that. It's just true or false. The next one is char, stands for character. And again, to represent a character, we use single quotes. And here I put the letter A inside of letter. This is not part of the AP exam. Char is not part of the AP exam. But we do use it in our class on occasions, especially when we get working with strings. We want to take a single letter out of a string, like a vowel or something, and we store it into a memory location. I allow you to use char, but we try to stay away from it. When we talk about, for those who came from Visual Basic, we use string. We do have string, but it's not a primitive data type. Primitive data types have no property. Okay, and so they have no property whatsoever. So far I covered data types, naming variables. Okay, naming variables, you should have no spaces, like total sum, there should be no space. Should be less than 255. It must start with a letter. I could have numbers in it. That's valid. It cannot start with a number. I cannot go 7 hold. Okay, that's not allowed. Okay, and you're allowed to use underscore. Again, when you're doing 2 words, again, always start out the first word lowercase letter, second word uppercase. The first letter should be uppercase letter. Okay. Another thing I want to cover is constants. I don't think I'll get to inputting this one because we're down to 9 minutes. But constants, we just use the word final. Okay. Final, maybe something like double. And I'm going to go in tax. And now Visual Basic is case sensitive. So you're like, well, you use tax up here. Well, this tax and this tax is actually different. Java will treat these as 2 different words, okay, because it is case sensitive. They don't equal each other. But it's always good to not to duplicate variable names, just so you don't get people confused. Okay. When you think about programming, try to keep all your decorations on top. I know other languages, you declare as you use them. Some don't even declare, like you're using different ones. But try to keep all your decorations at top. Java, just letting you declare it before you use it. That's what the rule is. But try to put all your decorations at top. Your next part of your code is your input section. That's where you go ahead and get all your inputs. Okay. And then your next section, you can think of programming as parts, is your process, your calculations. Okay, that's where we calculate everything. And since we learned outputting, this is where we output. After you calculate everything, then you output everything. So break down your program into parts. It's proper style. That's what most programmers do. You don't want to be declaring throughout your program because it looks like a giant mess and people can't read your code and it makes it harder for them. And again, when you get to a workplace, you have to be kind to your colleagues. You're working in teams, and if they're constantly going back to correct your stuff, you're going to get them mad at you. So try to stick to the standard. All decorations at top. Even though Java allows you to declare anywhere in here, you don't declare everything at top. The only exception for that is when we're doing for loops, and you can declare a counter for that for loop, and you can use a single letter actually. Up here, there should not be single letters. These should be words to represent what they hold. Okay. Inputs is next. That's where we go ahead and input our information, and this is where we do process, we do calculations. Once we got all the information inputted into our memory locations, we go ahead and process everything, we calculate everything, and then when we're done, we go ahead and output everything. So this is the proper way of programming. And again, we use final, constant, tax. Tax, notice it's all uppercase. Let me explain more about this. It cannot be changed. So if I use tax anywhere in a program, it represents 0.06. And the reason we have finals is two things. One, it prevents people from changing variables, as well as program maintenance. Let's say I use tax throughout this big program. Even though our programs are small, let's say this program is a couple pages long, and I use tax maybe 24 times. So instead of using 0.06 24 times, I could go ahead and make this tax, set it to 0.06, and then I could come back here some later date and change it. And now throughout my program, wherever the word tax is, it's now 0.07. So I only had to make one change at one location instead of going through the entire program and change it at all 24 places. So that's the purpose of constants. Okay. So if you have a value that will never change, you're using it, something like tax. Okay, that's a good example because taxes always go up, never go down. Unfortunately, those cases. This is where they could change it, and anywhere there's the word tax, it automatically changes. So it's also what we call program maintenance. So if you have to come back and maintain your program, update it, you could just update it at one location instead of through multiple locations. I'm not going to get to inputting. We're going to have a special video for that. I'm down to 13 minutes. Hopefully I don't go too fast. I try to explain everything all at once. We will be going over this in class. If you have any questions, again, read about it. Ask me questions in class about it. But again, data types, these are the AP ones. Ints, if you're working with integers. Doubles, if you're working with decimals. Boolean, true or false. We do not work with char. Okay, we will be working with char in our class, but not as an AP topic. Okay. We talked about final. That's how we declare constants. And again, tax cannot be changed. I cannot reassign tax in my program. Okay, and hopefully that explains everything. We talked about naming variables. And again, try to stay away from single letters. Again, I know some programs allow you to use single letters. Well, again, Java allows you to use it too, but it's just actually not professional. When people look at your code and all they see is X and Y's and Z's and they have no clue what it represents, it makes it hard to read your code. Your code should be legible, easy to read, and understandable for other coworkers as well as yourself if you have to go back and make changes to it. And again, we want you to be professional programmers here, and hopefully you take this and work with it and get to know it very well. See me if you have any questions. Okay, and happy programming.